Hey guys, it's JoeDaFrogman here, and today we're going to be watching a replay video of Lakeville Standard Battle, and I am platooned up with two other friends of mine. I will be playing the AMX 1390, which is a Tier 8 Scout. Giaco will be playing the M53, M55 Artillery, and TKE 919 will be playing the M103 Heavy Tank. And here I'm going to speed up the video for just a couple of seconds to get through the initial setup and configuration of our team. And at this point is when I notice the first enemy, which is a T-29 heavy tank rolling into town. Because I don't see any other tanks in the vicinity, nothing else is spotted up, and all I know about is the guys on the road. I decide to put a couple of shots in, and then I see he pulls back. He's looking to find me, and I'm fortunately able to get a few additional shots in, but I have a couple of bounce off the top, and then a couple of shots get eaten by the dirt. So at this point, I have cut out about 2 minutes of the video, as I did really not have anything going on from my perspective. I was trying to get some shots and had ended up just pretty much totally not having anything to do. So I had taken a couple of shots on a tank at the far side, and now I'm shooting at another scout tank. And at this point, I decide that it's just about time for me to get off of this lake road and find some other location, especially since I've been spotted at least a couple of times. And as you will see, someone is shooting at this E50, and fortunately I do not take any hits, which I am greatly glad for, because some of these hits would have actually hurt me quite significantly. You'll also notice that I'm continually kind of checking the map, and I finally notice that our team has lost the valley. So that's another reason why I'm getting off of this lake road, trying to get somewhere where I can actually do something more for the team at a little bit later time. Fortunately, I was able to get out of there just in time, as now the enemy team that came through the valley are coming around toward our cap. And I originally tried to look and see if I can get some shots on this T-28 who's on the lake road, but unfortunately he's at a bad angle, and I would more than likely just bounce those shots. So at this point I just decide to forego that and see if I can maybe reposition and shoot him from the side, and I come around and get a different angle on the T-28, and unfortunately, yep, he is behind a rock, so that's a no-go. So I decide to come around and try to assist the guys that are remaining in town on these other tanks, and I notice that there's a T-54E1 looking at me, and I give him a shot. And then shoot him a second time and decide to get around out of there before I get shot again. Fortunately, I did ammo racking, which I'm hoping is going to be a good thing. Then get a shot on a VK-3002, and then I come up the road. I was considering going back toward the base at this point, but I go ahead and get a shot into this IS-3 as he's backing away before I end up pulling back and headed toward our base. At this point, we've got about 30 seconds into the cap from the enemies, and so I am running as pretty much as fast as I possibly can to get back to our base. As you can see, there's only a couple of tanks left, and they are leading us 10 kills to 8. So I'm hoping between myself and this T20 over here, we're going to be able to decap them and complete the the battle for the base. And as I pull around, I look at the IS and notice that he has far more hit points, and decide that the best course of action is to take out this T32 first, because he is almost dead, even though he's not on the cap. And at this point, I shoot him and kill, and then shoot the IS, and he is dead. And those two shots that went in were greatly instrumental into us winning this battle. I then decided to get a couple of shots on this DK again, managed to get one into him, and he was killed by, I believe, the T20. So at this point, the only things remaining are the heavy, the T54E1, and the Arty. So I head back into town to try to help out over there. Our T20 decides to go down the lake road, and at this point he spotted an enemy tank, I believe it's a T29, and has begun to engage him. And as I pull into town, I decide to back up and see if I can get some shots onto this T29, and I'm waiting for a reload, aiming in, and waiting and waiting. You see, I'm impatient there. And all of a sudden I hear, and it takes me about 5 seconds to react, that, hey, there's a T-54 staring me straight in the face. So I turn and run like a little girl. I am just, at this point, I'm just kind of freaking out and trying to stay alive. See, he gets unspotted and is following me around this corridor, and I am just twisting and turning, putting the speed of the scout tank to the best possible use that I can. And I also realized after the fact that Giacca was saying, hey, send him over this way, you come this way, and I'll shotgun him. But again, I was just trying to stay alive. So things didn't register quite as fast as they probably should have. So again, been spotted by this guy, and I'm assuming he's going to come out this way. And unfortunately, he really doesn't. He kind of disappears. I was kind of hoping to pull him back toward Giacca at this point. And I don't know if you noticed, but that heavy seemed to take a shot at me also. Um, or maybe that was Giacca shooting. But in the meantime, the Arty was taken out by, I believe, that T20 on our team. While he was over there messing with the T29, who is kind of halfway down the ditch, so he's effectively out of the battle. At this point, I decided to go back into town and try to find that T54E1, or try to see if I can help out with the T29, but the T20 kills him, and the T20 dies almost immediately after killing the T29. So we are toward the last few minutes of the battle, and the T-54E1 is the only thing remaining, along with myself and Giacca. The T-54E1 is not spotted, but I have a good idea of roughly where he's at. Come around, I get him spotted, and he doesn't start shooting me. And as I'm driving, he is driving away, so I'm making the assumption that he is on a reload cycle, which is pretty long. So I try one shot, miss, and try a second shot and get one into him, and then I come around and I'm going to try to clip him with these last two remaining shots. And here is the fun part. What is Giacca doing? Oh my good. Wow, that was crazy. That was an absolutely awesome shot by Giacca in his M53, M55 artillery while on the move. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you do, I hope you guys will be kind enough to give it a like or leave a comment in the comment section, and I will see you on the battlefield.